Chapter 61-75. In fact, Jacob is not usually so bold. The reason why he dared to grin at the safety officer on the plane today is because the amount of 20 million is so huge. Wine can make people bold, and so can money. 35,000 people don't dare to bare their teeth. But 1 million people are eager to kill people. What's more, this is a total of 20 million. Moreover, it was equivalent to the 20 million that Jacob threw out himself. And he also threw it into the pocket of his enemy. This made him even more evil. However, Elaine's words immediately calmed him down. If he goes to the detention center, what good will happen? Elaine came out with a broken leg after 2 or 3 days. If she were really detained for 15 days, she didn't know how much she would suffer. Thinking of this, he didn't dare to continue to argue with the security officer. He could only sit back in his seat with great dejection, tears of grievance streaming down his face. He squeezed Elaine's hand tightly and asked helplessly, "Honey, what's going on? What should I do next? I thought the thing was worthless, so I sold it for 300,000 yuan. But I didn't expect it to be worth 20 million yuan. Isn't this a loss to my grandma's family? I feel so uncomfortable." Elaine quickly touched the back of his hand to comfort him and asked, "Hubby, please tell me what's going on?" Jacob was also afraid of being embarrassed, so he leaned into Elaine's ear and said, "The antique shop's manager Liang Yun came back. This grandson had beaten me before. And I felt a little unhappy. Irvin happened to tell me the news and was willing to help me beat him up. So we were thinking about finding a fake thing to sell to him and let him get an eyeful. I also lost some money by the way. Irvin helped me pull the strings and found me an old bronze Buddha. I bought it for 98,000 yuan. Last night, I had someone sell it to Liang Yun for 300,000 yuan. How could I have imagined that that thing would be worth 20 million? Elaine shook her head after hearing this and couldn't help complaining. "Husband, we are supposed to get back together, and I shouldn't scold you. But what you did was too stupid. It would make people laugh out loud if it spreads." Jacob lamented, "Hey! It's useless to talk about this now. The most important thing now is how to get the money back. We can't let Ju be so easy. Put all the 20 million in his pocket, right?" Elaine thought for a while and said, "Tell me the specific details. How did you deceive him? And what story did you use to deceive him?" Jacob then told her the story made up by Irvin. After hearing this, Elaine rolled her eyes and said immediately, "Yes, didn't Irvin ask his younger brother to pretend that it was something stolen from home? Then find someone to pretend to be his younger brother's brother and go directly to Liang Yun. He must say that the thing was passed down to him by his father, but was stolen and sold by his younger brother. Now he is asked to return it and give him 300,000 yuan. If he doesn't return the thing, he will call the police directly. It is said that this thing belongs to the police who should help recover the stolen goods." Elaine said, "Didn't you read what was said online? If minors use their parents' mobile phones to buy things or charge games, they will be refunded if the parents complain. Although Irvin's little brother is an adult, he can't steal his father's things and sell them." After hearing this, Jacob's eyes suddenly lit up and he said excitedly, "Oh, my wife, it has to be you. This method will definitely work. I'll call Irvin right now." Seeing that the plane was being slowly pushed out, Elaine quickly urged, "If you want to fight, fight quickly. The plane has already moved. Once it gets to the sky, you can't call anymore." "Okay." Jacob said excitedly, "I'll call him right now. If he doesn't solve this matter for me, I'll let my good son-in-law beat him to death. Mr. Orville is respectful to our son-in-law. As long as I move my good son-in-law out, the pressure will be enough for Irvin." "Okay, okay." Elaine nodded and urged, "Then hurry up. Click to call, don't look back, and the person you bought is gone and can't be found." "Okay." Jacob picked up the phone and immediately called Irvin. At this time, Irvin thought that Jacob would not know about this before taking off. But he did not expect that Jacob called him again at this moment. And he suddenly became a little nervous. However, being nervous, he didn't dare not answer Jacob's call. And he also wanted to know why Jacob called him and whether it was a false alarm. So, he pressed answer and asked in a relaxed manner, "Hey, President Wilson, aren't you supposed to take off soon? Why are you still calling me?" Jacob blurted out, "Irvin. Did you hear that?" "No." "The bronze Buddha we sold to Liang Yun yesterday was from the Fuqing Northern Song dynasty. Liang Yun sold it for 20 million this morning." When Irvin heard this, his head exploded and he broke out in a cold sweat. He swallowed his saliva and said, pretending to be curious, "Really? Is there such a thing? I haven't heard of it. Is that thing from the Northern Song dynasty? It's unlikely." Jacob scolded, "You used to be called an antique street know-it-all. Why are you not as sensitive as I am? You should contact your younger brother quickly and find someone to pretend to be his brother to find a witness. Ask for the thing back. Just say that the thing was stolen by your younger brother and must be returned." Irvin's forehead was soaked with cold sweat, and he cursed desperately in his heart. "What the H3LL are you so afraid of?" He was so nervous that he quickly said, "President Wilson, this is not the case. It's so easy to operate as you think. If we really want to get that thing back through legal means, we must first prove that we are not lying. If Liang Yun calls the police and involves the police, they will investigate and find out the specific situation. Aren't we embarrassed?